Hi. Hi, here to pick up my 1 p.m. rental? You want a minivan? What else do you guys have? Well, your reservation is for a 7-seater SUV, but the only thing we have here that's 7 seats is a minivan. Well, I'm okay with something smaller. What else do you have? How about a CRV? Yeah, CRV works for me. What's the daily rate? Well, you prepaid, so the rate stays the same. Wait, so even if I'm getting a smaller car that should be cheaper, I still pay the same daily rate? Shouldn't it be cheaper since you guys don't have the car that I prepaid for? Nope, it stays the same. The system won't even let me change it. So what did I learn from this experience? Well, first, apparently, if you prepay for a car and then you downgrade to a smaller or cheaper car, you're still going to pay Hertz the same rate. Going back to the daily rate issue, I think there's a couple of things that could possibly be at play. One possible answer is that these associates are just poorly trained and don't know how to use the software or the system that Hertz is having them use. Another possible situation is that the software is just really old and the system truly doesn't have a way for the associate to change the rate. And if that's the case, well, that's on you, Hertz Corporate. You need to improve your system. And then the last possible reason is just that the sales associate is lying to me. Now, if you weren't aware, these rental car branches actually compete with one another, even under the same company. My understanding is that branches with the highest sales numbers actually get quarterly bonuses. So that daily rate, they can actually change it higher or lower, depending on what the market dictates or depending on what they want to charge you. So there clearly is incentive for them to charge you more. Plus, they also earn commissions on sales of insurance packages and add-ons. There is that. So then after this not so pleasant experience, I get in the car and I start driving home. And then I think I better check the fuel gauge reading on the paperwork. So I take a look, and what do you know? They have the fuel gauge marked as full, 8 out of 8, whereas it's actually not. So I immediately call the branch location and say, hey, the fuel gauge is marked as full on the paperwork, but it's clearly not. Can you fix it and send a new receipt to me? And they say, sure, we'll send it right over. And I never got one. Well, I should be returning that CRV within the next day or two, and I'm sure I'm probably going to get overbilled for that. So, well, then it gets worse because I ended up having to extend my rental by 1 more day. Unfortunately, my car, which is in the shop, just isn't ready yet. So I go online to try to extend it, and the website says it's going to be $130 to extend it for 1 day, even though my current rate is $70 a day. So I think, let me try calling the 1-800 number. I call them and they say, oh yeah, we can extend it for $140 a day. I'm thinking, it just went up. I just went on your website. It says I can start a new reservation for the exact same car for about $70 a day. And the guy says, I can't do anything. You'll have to try the local branch. I called the local branch and they said, yeah, we can extend it for you for $150 a day. I'm thinking, what in the world? It's just going up and up and up. What's going on? So eventually the local branch gets it down to $88 a day. They keep on saying, this is exactly how much you paid. And I say, no, I'm looking at the receipt right now. It says $69.50 or $70 a day. And they keep on coming back and saying, no, this is the exact rate that you paid before. And at that point, I'm just like, whatever, $88 a day, fine. Just put it in for the extra day. And that brings me to one of the worst parts of dealing with Hertz, and that's the fact that they just don't really give you receipts for anything. Instead, they'll charge your credit card that they have on file and hope that you never call them or wonder why you're charged what you were charged. In fact, I'm still dealing with a previous rental from almost 2 months ago where they billed me incorrectly and then never bothered to send me a receipt. So we returned the car, and then about a week later, I checked my credit card bill and I saw this $540 charge by Hertz, and I immediately called the 1-800 number and said, this isn't correct. At least I don't think so. And they proceeded to explain to me what they charged me, and they basically charged me for a Tesla Model Y from September 1st to, I think it was September 14th. But in actuality, we had returned the Model Y on the 9th and had switched to a cheaper Chrysler 300 from the 9th to the 14th. But the lady on the phone said, no, I see here we charged you for the Model Y from the 1st to the 14th. We did that correctly, so everything here is exactly what it should be. We didn't do anything wrong. And I said, no, I just told you I had switched the cars on the 9th. And she said, well, I don't see that here on my system, so we didn't make a mistake here. But if you still think there's something wrong, you should call the local branch because they're the only ones that can help you. So I call the local branch and I say, hey, can you send me an invoice? I still have not received one. So they sent it to me, and once I get it, I give them a call back. And I said, this is clearly wrong. This says I was in the Model Y from the 1st to the 14th, even though I returned it to your branch on the 9th and then switched to the 300. So then she looks it up in her system and says, oh, you're right. I do see that here in our system. But I can't change that rate. There's nothing I can do for you. And I said, well, can you direct me to your manager? She was the one that actually helped set me up with this rental, so she was the one doing all the billing originally. To which she said, oh, she's actually not here anymore. I'm the new manager. And then I said, well, then can you help me? And she said, no, I'm kind of new here. I don't really know how to do any of that billing stuff, but you can try calling another branch. Maybe they can help you. And I was just like, oh. So since then, I've been on the phone with Hertz Corporate, with the local branch, with my insurance company, for hours and hours and hours, and they still haven't gotten it right. They are still overcharging me. They still haven't sent me a corrected invoice, and it's just a mess. So at this point, I'm just done. I'm just so done with renting a car from Hertz because it feels like nothing goes right. It feels like they're going to overcharge me, or they're going to do something that makes me think they're just trying to get more money out of me. And that's not what you want from a rental car experience, right? And on top of that, that Honda CR-V, man, that's probably the grossest car I've been in. I mean, I've been in some rental cars that smell like smoke, some rental cars that look like they need a little more cleaning. Man, as soon as I opened that door, there was just a stench and an odor of just complete and utter BO. Where it doesn't even feel like they cleaned the car, but it smelled horrible. It was to the point where I refused to put my son in there, and my wife has not set foot in there. I'm the only one that's driven in there, and as soon as I got home, changed all my clothes, and I can't wait to take that thing back to Hertz. But in any case, I think lesson learned for me, I will not be renting from Hertz ever again. And I'm really curious to hear from all of you. What have you guys experienced with Hertz or with even some other rental companies? What's that experience been like? Any horror stories? Any great stories? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.